Hey friends, today I have a fun little project, I guess you could call it, that I found in my um, big wonderful treasure trove of supplies. And look, I hadn't even used it before. It's really fun. They're these little like rubbery stamp things, and I'd always wanted to use them. So I found a way to use them that I think might be fun. And then I'm also using these Strathmore cards that you've seen me use quite often. I love these because I make all my own cards. I'm going to be using, as you know, I'm a huge fan of the Paul Rubens paints. They are also a sister company of those MeiLiangs that I suggest to you all the time, and we've all really fell in love with. I use them in my workshops. They're about $17. This is a professional set from the sister company Paul Rubens. I have tons of their paints, but this is a beautiful palette. The colors, as far as just aesthetically, look a lot like the MeiLiangs. Now this set, the professional set, is about $50, so it is a little bit of an investment. But if, for those of you that do want to have a step up from your MeiLiang palette, as you can see, a lot of the colors are kind of similar. I think this is a great palette, but this still I use every day. So that's what I'm using here. And then those Strathmore cards, I need to go back in my history and I'll find that for you. And then these I actually got on, can't remember if I got these from Michael's or on Amazon, probably Amazon. I'll try and find my link, but they're just rubbery and I have several of them, and I'm going to show you what I was playing with. I don't typically use ink, so what I'm going to do is I was playing with them and I painted the top with some watercolors, and then let me show you the magic, guys. I've just got a little vintage palette here I found, and I've got my Meeden 2-well water dish that I love. So let's get started. And then, by the way, I'm using my paintbrushes that I hope to come out this summer. The first of this summer. Kind of depends on how much interest we get, but I would love if you would sign up to be notified when they come out. They will be a whole set of 5 for about $55, $65. And look at the color, you guys. So excited about that. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lightly paint skim over the top of this and add in that beautiful, as you know, my favorite color. No surprise there, right? I mean, look at my brushes. And I'm just going to skim over the top here and get that paint on the surface of this stamp. Let me pick up a little bit more. I'm really enjoying this Youlan palette from Paul Rubens. It's really a beautiful palette. Okay, so I've got the top here pretty well coated with this paint. Let's see how it works. I just painted with this very briefly. As you know, I tend to get on here and experiment and hope for the best, right? Okay, so I have skimmed over the top. And then here's kind of the tricky part, or it was for me. I'm going to lay this down on here. And now this is the tricky part, just for me, is getting it back up without it moving around. So I'm just kind of tapping it here. Okay, here we go. Now, if one of you have a trick for this, please tell me. This one is going pretty well, but as you can see, there's a little bit of movement. Okay, but here's the fun part, you guys. So I've got this outline now of this beautiful rose. I'm going to go in and just rinse off my brush. So it's now what I call a thirsty brush. I can lift with this. It's not full of water. And watch this. I'm just going to go in and start playing with just water. Look how beautiful, you guys. Oh my God, this is like, I think this is going to be my favorite hack of the year. One of you didn't like that word hack, by the way. Can't remember who that was, but maybe I should call it my biggest tip for the year. Then I'm going to go into the lemon yellow. This is kind of this Youlan palette. They've got two yellows here and they look very similar, but they're just a tad different. One's a little bit brighter. And I'm going to go in now, wet on wet. And start touching in. Look how gorgeous that is. I can't believe I've never used these stamps before. I thought I really want to try them. And look at this beautiful blend. Now what I might do is just go in with a dark version there, especially in the middle of our little rose here. But I don't want to get rid of all that beautiful white space. So wash, rinse. I want to leave a lot of that. Otherwise, it's just going to kind of look like a big blob, right? And then I'm just pulling out some of this color just for some interest. Now what I could do is, they've got another little, maybe here's a smaller one. And I think this one's a little bud. Well, let's use this one first. So let me pick up some more of that pink and color the surface. You could even mix the colors right on the stamp, I'm sure. Try not to get it too watery because I don't want it to go into the inside of the stamp. I'm just trying to kind of skim over the top. But how much fun is this? I think this, metallics, some other things are some of my favorite things, truly. And then let's add this one. Let's see, how about if we add it right here? Ooh, see, this is where I, anyway, have to be kind of careful. And then picking it up, I'm holding down one side, and you may have a better little tip for this. So that one, see, it got a little bit too much in there, but that's okay. We're going to work with that. And then just barely a damp brush because you don't want too much water under there. Otherwise, it could just turn into a big, huge blur. And I'm just doing that technique that I love, push and pull. And I think I got enough pink in there that I want to get more of this beautiful yellow. I just love this pink with the yellows. I think it's so pretty. And at the same time, I'm making sure that I'm not covering up all of the white space. But look how beautiful. This is so pretty, you guys. I'm beyond excited. Maybe some of you already have used this technique before, but I'm loving it. And then I'm going to do a stem. So I already have some green here. Just go ahead and use that. And might pick up a tiny bit here. There we go. And just using the tip of my brush, I'm anchoring my hand, and whenever I want to get the tip of my brush, I don't want to hold it at an angle because then I would be getting the belly of the brush. I want to just get the tip, so I try to hold it more up upright. Now, sometimes I will vary that a bit because I don't want to block what I'm doing and you couldn't see. And then let's do some fun little leaves. Point, press. Now, these look a little bit like a rose leaf to me. So I'm going to add a little bit of that rose roundness. They're kind of round like that. The one color that they didn't have in this palette, I love all the colors, but the one color they didn't have, I noticed, was like a Van Dyke brown and a olivey green. So I've just been mixing that on my own, which is pretty easy. And then back again for these. And let's do one here, point. I noticed too, all my roses always have 3 leaves. Isn't that funny? Just tap in a bit, get some of that spread. There we go. So look how simple and easy that was. I feel like you could almost add, I think, wasn't there a little bud? There's a little tiny bud. Maybe we could add that in right here, because I do like to work, number one, for composition wise, I like working in zigzag. So this is kind of a zigzag here, and I like working in 3s. I feel like because this is a focal point, so there's 1, 2, and 3. So there's 3 elements. So really we don't need too much. You know, we don't need 3 flowers. I feel like we've got 3 elements, and I kind of like that. So we could add this in, maybe here, maybe there, but I think we're kind of fine with this. What I am going to do is go back in with a darker value, just meaning more pigment. And I'm going to darken up the inside here just a bit. I like to have that depth. And you know what's actually really nice is you've already got these lines for you, so you could almost just follow those. Like I'm doing. And have that wonderful outline. Look at that. You guys, this is my new go-to. Totally my new go-to. Hopefully nobody's, I know, is seeing this video, which they probably aren't. And I'm going to be making all my videos, all my cards using this technique with these little stamps, because this is brilliant. So I'm just going in, adding some dark, and now this will lighten up. But there you go. That's all how easy was that? So if you want a really easy way to create a little flower card, you could definitely do something like this. And then if you've got that great writing, I don't, you could write happy birthday, I miss you, but look at how beautiful. And these Strathmore cards I really like. Number one, they're really thick and nice. But they also come with this envelope, and I don't have one right here, but this envelope that has that vintage edge on it, and they're really beautiful. So there you go, you guys. I hope you give this a try. Lots of fun. Thanks for being here. And if you would like, by the way, I'm hoping these can be released in the beginning of summer, which actually, I can't even believe it is next month. I will put the link for these and you can just go there and say, let me know when they come out. And I can't wait to share these with you. Look at how beautiful they are, that color with a vintage palette or the new Paul Rubens palette. I just love all these colors. All right, thank you so much, everybody, for being here with me and our wonderful little community here. And I will see you all soon. Happy painting.